Today I'm building a penthouse apartment for my Bloxburg town. So this is the next part to my series where I'm creating different buildings for my town. And just behind me is the apartment block. But obviously we're not going to be doing all that today. We are just going to be doing the penthouse, which is the top floor. So with all that said, let's jump straight into it. All right, so if we go up to the top floor, which is going to be the penthouse, as you can see, I've not done anything to this at all yet. So I think the first thing we should do is prep the walls before we do the layout. And now we need to decide the layout. So I'm thinking if we separate this bit off, then this area can be a massive open plan kitchen and a dining room as well. Then maybe this in here can be like a tiny little office. And then we'll have a hallway here, then a bedroom, a bathroom, a bedroom, a bathroom. And then this can be like a small lounge room. So I think to stick with tradition, we should start with the kitchen and dining room. But just before we do that, one thing that's bothering me is that there's not like a wall trim along here. So if you want to know how to do that, you actually just get a traditional beam and then you can just basically manually place a wall trim. And there we go. Now we should start with the kitchen. So I'm going to add a couple more windows in, and I'm thinking we make some custom ones. Basically, you get a small beam. How you do it is you just put them like across. Oh my gosh, I'm struggling. Then match the colors and you've got yourself a nice custom window. So now we have a really nice view over whatever that is going to be, this random grass area. I'm not putting any windows along this wall and you'll see why in a second. Let's actually start with some decorating now. So I want to use modern counters, but because it's like a traditional house, I feel like we should use some more fancy looking ones. And basically, I just want this house to look so expensive and rich, guys. So I'm thinking we maybe bring the kitchen along to about here. And then this is where we start our iconic island, which by the way does not need to be massive because we're gonna have a huge dining table over here. And we should probably work out how we're actually gonna get into this room. I'm thinking an archway. And oh my gosh, we can already get a taste of what it's gonna look like. And I'm already loving it. If you guys know how I build my kitchens, you'll know what I'm gonna do next. I always like to have quite a few of these cabinets. And you know what? I never use like different fridges, but this one actually looks kind of nice. Wait, I have a building hack. This is so random, but I've just remembered. If you get a basic cube and then put one of these on top of it and then like move this up. Yes, I've got it to work. Okay, so when we do the tour, we'll see if that actually works. I think it will. I actually want some glass pantry cabinets, but I want some stuff inside of them. So a little building trick is if you go out of build mode and then open them, it's so much easier to put stuff inside. In some, we will have some bowls, and I love making mine go in like an ombre pattern. And anyway, you can just go and close them, and then we can go and return them to the penthouse, where now this will look so much more detailed. And the reason that I didn't add any windows is because down here I have a big store of decals. So I'm thinking that we use some of the marble ones. Look how beautiful that looks now. I think we're in need of another island. Just because you guys know me by now, I love being extra. And what's more extra than 2 kitchen islands? 3. No, I'm joking. Don't give me ideas. Now we should probably actually put something to sit on or you're going to be very uncomfortable. It looks like we're at a casino playing poker, but I like it anyway. And oh my gosh, this plant is actually kind of iconic. I never use it because I used to think it looks kind of weird. And now we're going to put in what I like to call the mini appliances, like the kettle, whatnot. I wonder, can I put some LED lights under here? I can. And for once, I'm going to remember to put in a kitchen sink. And normally I put this one. And I don't know why I'm acting like I'm going to change it. I'm going to use it again. It's just a classic. It's a classic, okay? But now it's time for the island lights. And I'd normally use these ones. But again, we're going extra fancy today. So we're using traditional ones, even though they're cheaper, but don't expose me, okay? And oh my gosh, sneak peek alert. That looks beautiful. But now it's time to turn our attention over here to the dining room. Dining room tables. Which one? I'm thinking we combine 2 dining tables. And hold the phone. What am I doing? I've just remembered a perfect idea I had, which actually involves round tables. So basically, we make a big round shape like this. And then obviously it's glitching a bit. So we'll sort that out with this cylinder. And then we can put some chairs around it. So we could use these small ones, or we could use these big ones. And I'm deciding the big ones today, even though these are impossible to place because they just keep attaching, but I have managed to do it. Okay, I've tried to make it as even as possible. I think I've done an okay job. So on here, I want to have a flower arrangement. So I'm gonna do another building hack, guys, just pulling them out of my hat today, where you basically just spin a vase. Really, it's not that hard. And we'll put a lovely little chandelier above. Simplistic but fancy, I think. Anyway, it's it's now time to whip out some of the console tables. So if you ever don't know what to put along wall spaces, these are your best bet. Oh my gosh, what's going on with this coloring system? I think it was just a glitch. I know it's a bit bold, but I've gone for these kind of crazy textures because I think posh houses always have like weird textures everywhere. Anyway, the purpose of these for now is actually to go along this window space. And then over here, maybe we should just make this like a pantry or something. I also want there to be quite a lot of artwork in this house. And oh my gosh, I'm obsessed with this big window, by the way. Look at the view of the city. Then this little corridor bit here is calling out to me for a carpet. The question is, what texture shall we do it? I'm thinking maybe one like that. I've added a couple more tables, then we'll just add some benches in between here. And of course, a giant plant. And yeah, I think that is this room pretty much done. Other than adding, of course, some of these structural beams. And voila, that has just improved it tenfold. Now we should actually probably grab that door because in here is going to be an office. And then actually, we can add another lovely little archway there because this is going to be a corridor room. The reason I'm doing that now is because I think it's time to do the entryway. So a dark oak bookshelf is probably the best option for this little corner. And the color of these books literally is reminding me of a school. We will then add the most random assortment of objects known to man. I'm thinking over here we should make a sofa. And I like the square pillows, but I like the circle ones more. So we're going to replace them. I'm actually going to double them up just to be extra fancy. Then we could be basic and put a painting here, but I'm feeling a little bit more adventurous. So let's look at what shelving units. What on earth is that? Oh my gosh, it doesn't even go on the wall anyway, so we can't use it. I guess we'll just use these square ones then. And I love how I said paintings are basic, but I'm literally putting one right here. Then over in this area is going to be more of like the actual get ready, because this is right where you step into the apartment. This classical hat stand I haven't used in ages. I'm going to put a stool down here because there is just no reason for this. If you're ever in doubt, just place a stool. And we'll finish it off with some more fancy chandeliers. But yeah, let me basically just copy all of that stuff over into this hallway as well. And oh my gosh, this is looking so homey already. A little bit light, but we'll fix that when we go in. Now I'm feeling like doing an office. So this is where I'm going to make use of these massive custom windows again, because hello, these are beautiful. I'm thinking we should use wall paneling in here. And the reason I've got loads of sizes is because I need to make some smaller so they fit in. That has actually enhanced it so much already. So I'm gonna get this desk because it's literally called fancy desk. We're gonna borrow one of these like tufted chairs from earlier. Then I'm gonna use some thin bookshelves either side. Oh my gosh, this literally looks like a king could have this penthouse. The typical thing I like to do in my office is add these chairs at like an angle, and then as if there wasn't enough lamps in here, we're gonna get some more floor lamps. Oh my gosh, the gold. I'm thinking maybe a little carpet in the middle. Well, I say little, it's taking up half the floor. Then I'm feeling kind of random, so I'm gonna put an ottoman in the corner. And yeah, the office is a simpler room, but I still really love it. And now we have the lounge room. I'm again going to carry on the massive window theme, and I think this as the TV stand will look amazing. And then we will color it the same as what we've been doing with these bookshelves, which we're actually going to nab some of these books. Should I place the books another way for a change? Does that look nice? Yeah, as you can see, I think that looks pretty good. For the layout of the lounge, I think we should have two of these sofas either side. And either side of what, you may be asking? Well, nothing too crazy actually, just another sofa, a bigger one. And you know, I'd love to have bookshelves or something along this back wall. So sadly we can't do that, but we can have some of these shelves. And oh my gosh, how realistic does like this corner look? If you zoom in really close, it's realistic, I promise. But seriously, wallpaper decals actually really help. And then a coffee table. What did we actually do before coffee tables, guys? Like, would we just leave an empty gap? Yeah, I think that's good for this room. What do we have left now? Oh my gosh, the bedrooms. So I'm only going to do one room because they're basically going to be the same anyway. And I'm going to do this one here because this is like the master bedroom. I'm thinking we could have like a bathroom along here. This could be a corridor, but also a closet. Then we can have a door out to the balcony. And then I think that leaves a fair enough amount of space for the bed. We'll have a couple of these windows here, but I'm going to stop them at this point because like I just said, this is where the closet is going to start. Already, we haven't even colored it. How luxurious does this look? I wonder, is there room for like a mirror? I think maybe if we put one there. Next, I'm going to do the bathroom. So maybe we could have some of these big windows here. Oh, hello? Apparently, we're not allowed to put these big windows here. We'll just put one then instead. We'll have a big bath here. You can also put a shower going into it, although that looks like it might miss the bath, so it might get flooded in here. Put the toilet right behind the door, just for a bit of extra privacy. And then I'm borrowing this counter from the kitchen, not because I want to make donuts in the bathroom, but just because I want it as like a sink. But yeah, basically, if we put a floating sink above it and then color the sink marble, as you can see, it just looks so awesome to me. And then we can use some of these shelves from earlier. And then then down in the secret basement, I have some marble. So this is going to be perfect for these walls. And now we have the main bedroom to do. So maybe we should use a wallpaper in here as well. I do have this silver one, which is up for grabs. Actually, we'll add the wallpaper afterwards because otherwise it's quite hard to place things on the wall. And the vibe I'm going for this bed is king because the headboard kind of looks like a crown. So first step is getting rid of these old ones. Second step is adding the big pillows. Third step is adding the smaller pillows. And then we add the covers and stuff. And that is a lovely looking bed. Looks very fancy. And I know this is so weird, but I'm going to put light above the bed because apparently we're insane and we want to have light above our bed. Anyway, we'll have a desk as you walk in case you can't be bothered to walk down the hall for 2 seconds to go to the office. We can have some more plants, a little bench. We can even have a little sofa as well. Then let's finish up the roof. And like I said, I'm not doing this bedroom and bathroom today. So that is the apartment done. But however, there is just one more thing I wanted to do in this building, which is just decorate this entryway a tiny bit. So let's first fix these boring grey walls. And now we just need like a little reception area. I know that's more commonly what you get in hotels, but this apartment block is different to others. So we'll add some chairs. We'll also add some tills. Do not ask me why there'd be tills at an apartment. Oh my gosh, look how cool that looks. Whee! But no, something I like to do in like waiting rooms is add like some back-to-back chairs. And I think this lobby deserves to be 2 stories high. We'll add a ton more windows up here. And I really am just being a perfectionist here, but I want some big pillars. And oh my gosh, how grand do they look? And then for the grand finale, this beautiful chandelier. And that, guys, is our penthouse apartment finished. So to get over to it, you actually have to run quite far. But if you're wondering how much the town is worth now, it's actually just hit the 2 million mark. So it's really expensive now. So as you walk in, we have our dazzling entryway. We have our beautiful chandelier up there, our huge window. Over here is our elevator. And oh my gosh, it is heaven on earth. Anyway, I've just fixed the lights, but as you first walk in, we have a floor mistake apparently. But no, we have this lovely entrance. Firstly, on the right, we have our office, which has a lovely view of Pizza Planet. This is quite a fancy room in itself. Then if you go the other way and left, we have the main room. And this is definitely my favorite part of the house. I mean, look at it. We have a lovely dining area with a very scenic view. We have a lovely big kitchen, which is like countryside vibes. And then over here, we have a little pantry as well. And then if we go down this corridor, we have the lounge room, which is simple but effective, I think. Down here, we have 2 more rooms. So eventually, this will be a bedroom and bathroom. But for now, we just have my room. So this is actually a pretty big bedroom, you know. We have a seating area, the bed, of course, which is looking very glamorous. We have a little balcony area out there. And in here is the closet. And then the last room is our little ensuite. So all marble tiles around here, a lovely sink, and a beautiful view out of our bathtub. But there we go. That was me building the penthouse apartment for my town. Hopefully you guys liked the video. If you did, make sure to press subscribe. But anyway, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you all next time.